Welcome to My Cool Machine, a collaboration between a few YouTube folk where we all pick a cool gaming machine and talk about what makes it cool. And I've picked the Atari Lynx. So, what's so cool about the Lynx? Well, released in 1989, a year before the Game Gear and Turbo Express, and only 2 months after the Game Boy, the Lynx was the first handheld with a proper backlit colour screen. The Lynx started life in 1986 and was developed by 2 former Amiga designers working at gaming giant Epyx. Originally known as the Handy, they shopped their 6502-based console around to the likes of Nintendo and Sega before finally being picked up by Atari, who would handle the hardware side of things, leaving them free to focus on games. Sadly, the cash-strapped Epyx went out of business the year the console launched, leaving Atari to handle things on their own, who in a cruel twist of fate ended up having to buy Amiga machines from arch-rivals Commodore to be able to continue to support the Lynx's software development toolchain. There were 2 versions, a long boy and later a not so long boy, and it could be used left or right-handed and even in Tate mode. That's right, I said Tate mode. At the time, the Lynx was praised for its strong hardware sprite manipulation and pseudo 3D capabilities, as well as its strong launch lineup of games that included California games, which I'm still completely terrible at, classic puzzler Chips Challenge, which you may remember from the later Windows 3.1 port, the Afterburner-esque Blue Lightning, which of course would also later come to the Jag, the super smooth side-scrolling shooter Gates of Zendocon, and the graphically impressive Electrocop, which I'm also terrible at. The Lynx would go on to pick up a great selection of contemporary and classic games and platform exclusives, for a total of 76 commercial releases during its lifetime. These days, it has a thriving homebrew scene. The Lynx is a cool system to collect for, and while the console itself can be a bit pricey due to the fact that there just aren't that many of them out there, games can often be picked up inexpensively and there are also flash carts available. Unfortunately, I only have 2 minutes here, so apologies if I've missed your favourite game, but please do let me know about it down in the comments. So thanks for watching. I'll be refurbing and modding my Lynx soon with a modern screen, so be sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already so you don't miss that, and check out the playlist on screen now to see the rest of the excellent My Cool Machine submissions.